Hey guys, I got something really interesting for you this week. I went and scraped all Product Hunt launches that ever launched on the platform since it started all the way back in 2013. So these are over 170,000 launches, and you can see here when the launches went live and how many launches there are in total 170,000. And yeah, I went into the analytics and I thought we could go through together to maybe formulate a strategy on when to launch. Depending on what you want to get out of your Product Hunt launch, you might want to get as many clicks as possible and visibility, or you might want to launch on a day when there's less competition and you have a high chance of ranking in the top to then maybe just get that badge for social proof on your landing page. So as we can see here, Product Hunt started out in November of 2013. Not a lot of launches here in the beginning, but it pretty quickly picked up massively. So they've been really successful and could grow over time all the way until 2016, 2017. And then something happened. It dropped off to a level which is pretty close to the beginning, which then stayed pretty flat. I'm actually not sure what happened here. It would be really interesting to see. Maybe they got more strict with who can submit, although they are currently not that strict, just speculating. But this is already like ancient history in startup terms, so if we go a little bit more in this direction, now we're getting to 2022, it picked up a little bit, then it went down again, and this is what I want to talk about. Right around here, somewhere in 2023, 2024, it just more than doubled and then kept growing. And this is just when I scraped the data. It was still in the mid of March, so it probably would be somewhere up here by now. It just completely blew up recently. And I'm only speculating, but I'm pretty sure that this is due to generative AI becoming so commonplace. Tools like Cursor and Lovable Dev and so on enabled so many people that were maybe not super technical before to build their own products. And of course they want to show them off here on Product Hunt. So I would say that's why it's exploded. So if your goal is to be successful on Product Hunt, you now have a lot more competition than you had before. That's something to keep in mind. But I would also say that the average quality of tools submitted to the platform has decreased. So maybe if you have a really good tool, you can still stand out, and competing in the top might not be that much more difficult than before. But these tools are pretty good. People come up with pretty nice stuff. So I think overall you should expect more competition. I also tried to visualize this data separated by years. So here in the top you can see which color corresponds to which year, and also by weekdays, because this is, I think, the most important distinction. I think it was pretty common knowledge that it's easier to rank in the top places on weekends, but here we have actual quantitative data on whether or not that's true and to what degree. And I think the data is quite clear. People always say Tuesday is the most competitive, but if you can get in the top 3, you really get a lot of traffic, and the weekend is the easiest because a lot of people take a break on weekends, I guess. So you can see if you want the most attention and you're pretty sure that you can get lots and lots of upvotes, Tuesday is the best bet. But if you just care about that badge, maybe choose Saturday. If you're curious why 2025 is so small, it's again that at the point I scraped this data, we were not even a quarter into the year, so of course it's much smaller. But I said if you're sure that you can get enough upvotes, you can try on Tuesday, or otherwise maybe you would rather go for Saturday. But what exactly should you expect? How many upvotes do you need based on which day or based on which spot you want to reach? So that's the next thing I evaluated. It looks a bit complicated at first, but it's actually quite simple. This graph is related to the first place you want to reach on Mondays, second place here, and third place here. And it basically tells you if you want to rank first on a Monday, then over time, how many upvotes did you need to reach that place? Of course, it's, really noisy here. Someday really successful companies launch their product and they get a lot of attention, and sometimes you get lucky and you don't need that many upvotes to rank in the top. but I tried to average it out in this orange line here on how many votes you need on average. So if we check here, you need just under 1,000 votes usually on Mondays to get the first place. Although often it could just still not be enough. You can see sometimes they go kind of out of this graph here because these peaks are sometimes so high that it would shrink all the other data and make it hard to see. But you can expect like 2, 3, sometimes even 4,000 votes necessary to be first place. But at least you have some kind of baseline. So I would say if you try to aim for maybe 1.4 thousand, you can be pretty confident right now that you can get first place. So the other graphs are basically the exact same thing, just for second place and third place. So while we have like over 900, maybe 950 here for first place, second place is a lot less competitive with like 550, I would say. And here for third place, a little bit lower again, it may be like 420. But this is still Monday, which is quite competitive. The most competitive is Tuesday. So here we need over 1,000 definitely, maybe even like 1.1, 1.2k. For second place, okay, we have like 750, I would say, maybe a little less. And for third place, it's like 550, 560, 570. So this is definitely very competitive, even for third place. Wednesday, we're back to maybe 900 for first place, and for second place, right in the middle, around 700 maybe, and third place might be like 520, 530, right around that area. And now we have Thursday, which is already going down. If we go back quickly, you know, Thursday is going down again, Friday goes down a lot. So for Thursday, it went down recently, so now it's like maybe around 800 or a little less, 780 or something. Second place, you need maybe 600, what is that, 650, 640 or something. And third place, still just above 500 votes to be pretty confident, although you want to be more at the top of this range if you want to really make sure. And Friday, this is around the 600, 620 mark. Second place is pretty much exactly 500, and third place is just over 400 votes, maybe 500 if you want to make sure. And now we get to Saturday, which, interesting also over time, got more competitive recently, but I guess that makes sense if there's more products and in general more attention on the platform, that it would go up. So here we are around like 750, and for second place just over 400, and for third place maybe 320 or 330 upvotes. So maybe 320 upvotes is quite doable if you prepare your launch a bit, if you support other launches, reach out to people. I've introduced my launch support tracker for TinyLaunch in the past, which you can also use for Product Hunt. So maybe if you prepare and then choose to launch on a Saturday, it's feasible that you could get in the top 3 here. And lastly, this is the data for Sunday. Here we have pretty much exactly 600 upvotes, maybe 700 upvotes if you want to make sure. For the second place, we are right around 450, and for the third place, maybe 350, 340. So now you know how many upvotes you need for the different days. I know in the video it might be a little bit small, so I'm gonna link to a blog post, or more like a newsletter issue I wrote a while ago, where you can get this data in higher resolution and maybe plan your launch yourself. I also wanted to mention that even if your goal is to get like maximum attention, it might sometimes actually be smart to go for a low volume day like Saturday, because if you're not actually reaching the top 3 or maybe top 5 or maybe even top 10, then visibility drops a lot. So maybe 6th place on a Tuesday might actually give you less clicks than 2nd or 3rd place on a Saturday. So if you're not sure you can make it, you might actually get more attention on a lower volume day. Okay guys, this is all I could get out of the Product Hunt data so far. If there's anything else you might want to know, maybe I can dig a little deeper, so just write a comment and I can try to figure it out for you. And other than that, I hope this little breakdown of the Product Hunt data was useful to you. If it was, please consider subscribing to my channel and leaving a like. I'm still pretty new to this YouTube thing, so it really helps out a lot. And other than that, keep shipping, and I'll see you in the next one.